Welcome, the spicy ladies. Just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's worth doing, and just because she's different doesn't mean she's wrong. She might just be ahead. In today's world, many women are shaped by outside noise. They're told how to dress, how to speak, how to love, and who to be. So they follow the script. They say yes when they want to say no. They stay quiet when they should speak up, and without realizing it, they start building a life that looks good on the outside but feels empty on the inside. Then there's the Sigma female. She isn't interested in looking perfect. She's committed to being real. She doesn't need validation from men or from society to know her worth. Her peace doesn't depend on a relationship. Her confidence doesn't come from compliments. She's built herself from the inside out, calm, clear, and unbothered. That's what separates her from the 97%. She's not chasing attention. She's not trying to be chosen. She's already chosen herself. And here's the beautiful part. If you feel like you don't quite fit in with the crowd, like your silence speaks louder than your words, or like you value depth over drama, then maybe you're one of the few. This isn't about being better. It's about being different on purpose. The world may not always understand women like you, but they will remember you because true strength never needs to shout. Keep building your peace. Keep moving in truth. You were never meant to be like the rest. You were meant to be rare. Let's get started. The spicy ladies. 1. They react quickly to pressure. The Sigma woman doesn't. Most people panic when the pressure hits. Their first instinct is to do something, anything, to feel in control. They talk fast, over-explain, agree just to keep the peace or shift into performance mode. It's not always obvious, but it's there. That quiet fear of being judged, the need to look like they have it all figured out, even when they don't. But the Sigma woman, she does the opposite. She slows down. She doesn't talk just to fill space. She doesn't respond just to avoid discomfort. When pressure rises, she doesn't scatter. She centers herself. She becomes still, like someone studying a storm instead of running from it. That's what throws people off. They expect panic. They expect compliance. But all they get from her is stillness. She's not frozen. She's calculating. She's reading every shift in energy, every unspoken tension, every move in the room. She knows pressure is when people reveal their true intentions. And she never wastes those moments, that silence, that pause. It's not weakness, it's control. While others fold, she holds her ground. While others try to please or prove, she watches. She doesn't react to pressure. She responds to truth, and that makes her rare, unshakable, dangerous in the best way. She knows that real strength is not in how loud you get, but how calm you stay when things start cracking. And that calm becomes her weapon, her shield, her edge. So when things go sideways, don't expect her to break. Expect her to become even more precise, even more intentional. That's what separates her from the crowd. That's what makes her a Sigma. Pressure doesn't shape her. It sharpens her. 2. They confuse attention for power. Sigma women don't. Most people chase attention like it's oxygen. The more eyes on them, the more valuable they feel. They post constantly, overshare, dress to provoke, speak just to be heard, even if they have nothing real to say. They've been taught that visibility equals importance. That the more attention you get, the more power you must have. But attention is easy to get. Power is not. Sigma women know this. They don't care about being the most seen or the most followed. That kind of spotlight doesn't move them. What they care about is control of their time, their space, their mind, their emotions. That's real power. Quiet, lasting, untouchable power. While others are drained from trying to stay relevant, the Sigma woman is fully charged because she chooses where her energy goes. She's not available to everyone. She's not easy to access. And that's exactly why people remember her even in her absence. She doesn't compete. She positions. She doesn't chase. She attracts by being deeply in control of herself. That's what makes her magnetic without even trying. People will scroll past 100 attention seekers and forget them 5 minutes later. But the Sigma woman, she might speak once and leave a lasting impact. Not because she was loud, but because she was aligned. She moves with intention, speaks with weight, guards her peace like it's priceless. And it is because where others are reacting to the world, she's shaping her own. The truth is, attention fades. But the kind of power the Sigma woman holds, that builds over time, that multiplies in silence, that cannot be taken away. That's why she doesn't fight for the spotlight. She creates her own orbit, and only a few ever get close. 3. They want titles and recognition. Sigma females don't. For most people, success isn't real unless it's announced. They want the promotion, the trophy, the social media post that says, "I've arrived." It's not just about doing the work, it's about being seen doing it. They need the applause to feel accomplished, the spotlight to feel valid, but Sigma females don't play that game. They're not building their life around titles or shiny labels. They're not chasing recognition. They're chasing mastery quietly, relentlessly, without needing anyone to clap for them. To her, real success isn't public, it's personal. It's about knowing she's grown sharper, stronger, and wiser. Even if no one's watching, she doesn't care if the world gives her credit. She gives herself credit by showing up every day and becoming better than she was yesterday. While others are polishing resumes and waiting for acknowledgement, she's deep in the work. Not because she wants praise, but because she loves the process and because she knows the loudest people in the room are often the least secure. You might never hear her list her accomplishments. You might never see her post about her milestones. But look closely and you'll notice she moves with a quiet confidence that doesn't need to be explained. She's not trying to impress anyone. She's trying to master her craft, master her peace, master herself. 4. They avoid being the odd one out. Sigma women don't. Most people crave belonging so badly, they'll shrink themselves just to stay included. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They agree with opinions that don't sit right. They trade honesty for harmony because being the outsider feels too risky. Being different means being questioned, so they blend in, even when it costs them pieces of who they really are. But the Sigma woman, she has no interest in pretending. If the room feels off, she leaves. If the group drains her, she creates distance. She would rather be misunderstood than be fake. She would rather walk alone in truth than stand in a crowd that requires her silence. This is not about being rebellious. It's about being real. She does not fear being the odd one out because she understands something rare. Peace is expensive, and pretending to belong where you do not is one of the highest prices you can pay. While others chase connection at any cost, she guards her energy like a vault. She knows that forced community is not safety. It's slow self-eraser, and she refuses to disappear in order to be accepted. That's why you'll often find her alone, but never lonely. She's not isolating. She's filtering, waiting for the few who match her frequency. Because she knows when you stop forcing connections, the right ones start to find you. So, while most are busy fitting in, the Sigma woman is outgrowing the noise. She's not afraid to stand out. She's afraid of betraying herself just to blend in. And that's what makes her powerful. She doesn't avoid being the odd one out. She owns it. She builds her peace in that space. And from there, everything begins to align. 5. They obsess over being liked by men. Sigma females don't. Many women grow up thinking their value is tied to how attractive they are to men. The compliments, the messages, the attention, they start to feel like proof that they matter. And when it's not there, insecurity creeps in. So, they adjust, they shrink. They change how they dress, how they speak, how they move, all to fit what they think will make them more desirable. But the Sigma woman doesn't move like that. She's not building herself to attract. She attracts because she's built herself quietly, thoroughly from the inside out. She doesn't wake up thinking about who's watching her. She's focused on who she is watching, herself, her habits, her growth, her peace. She's not tailoring her life around what men want. She's building a life that feels good with or without applause. This is why she stands out. Because while many are working hard to be chosen, she is choosing herself first every time. And the irony, that kind of self-respect is magnetic. It pulls people in without effort. Men may notice her, but she is never waiting to be noticed. That is the difference. She doesn't compete. She doesn't perform. She doesn't over-explain her independence or tone it down to seem more approachable. She is who she is, fully, calmly, and unapologetically. 6. They see beauty as their main currency. Sigma women don't. A lot of women are raised to believe that beauty is their biggest asset, that their looks are the ticket to love, attention, success, even safety. So, they pour their energy into appearances, the perfect makeup, the trending outfits, the carefully posed photos. And for a while, it works. People look, people compliment, doors open. But here's the trap. Beauty fades. And when that's all you've built your identity around, the silence that follows can feel brutal. Sigma women understand this early. They don't ignore beauty. They just refuse to make it the center of their power. They lead with something deeper. Their thoughts, their presence, their strength, their ability to hold space and own it without needing to decorate it. Where most women rely on being seen, the Sigma woman makes you feel her. It's in how she speaks, calm, clear, without needing to dominate. It's in how she holds her boundaries, how she handles pressure, how she says more with her silence than others say with 1,000 words. She knows that looks might get someone's attention, but they'll never hold it. Not for long. What keeps people leaning in is substance, mystery, consistency, character. While others spend hours perfecting the outside, she's sharpening the inside. She invests in self-awareness, emotional control, and a quiet kind of wisdom that doesn't need approval to be powerful. So, yes, the Sigma woman may be beautiful, but that's just the cover. The real story is in who she is when no one is watching. And that's the part you don't forget. 7. They fear burning bridges. Sigma females don't. Most people are terrified of conflict, distance, or simply being misunderstood. They'll hold on to friendships that drain them, stay loyal to dynamics that no longer serve them. Say yes when they want to say no, all to avoid being seen as cold or difficult. Why? Because we're taught not to burn bridges. We're told we might need to cross them again one day. But Sigma females don't live by fear-based rules. They don't cling to people out of guilt, obligation, or nostalgia. When a connection starts costing them their peace, their values, or their identity, they walk calmly, quietly, without fanfare. They're not reckless. They don't cut ties just to prove a point. But they do understand something most avoid admitting. Not every bridge deserves to be preserved. Some bridges lead back to chaos. Some lead to manipulation, betrayal, or cycles they've outgrown. And they'd rather light that path up than keep it open out of politeness. Sigma women know how to walk away without leaving hate behind. They don't need to explode. They don't need revenge. They just remove themselves. And that removal is loud enough. People often mistake this for coldness, but it's not. It's clarity. It's the refusal to stay somewhere just because leaving is uncomfortable. The Sigma female doesn't fear being alone on the other side. She trusts that walking away from what is wrong will always lead her closer to what is right, even if there's a stretch of silence in between. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not to fix the bridge, but to leave it burning behind you and never look back. 8. They fall into comparison traps. Sigma women don't. In a world built on highlights and filters, it's easy to feel like you're not enough. Many women wake up and immediately scroll through someone else's life, her looks, her relationship, her success, and start measuring their worth against it. It becomes a silent habit, a quiet self-destruction dressed up as motivation. But Sigma women, they don't play that game. They understand that comparison is the fastest way to forget who you are. While others are busy checking timelines and matching milestones, the Sigma woman is locked in on her own lane. She's not watching to compete. She's building to evolve. Her goals are rooted in depth, not in appearances. She doesn't care if someone else seems further ahead. She knows she's not late. She's not behind. She's just on a different frequency altogether, one that doesn't require validation from strangers. She doesn't lose sleep over who has more or looks better. That energy is redirected inward into her growth, her clarity, her purpose, because she understands the truth most people avoid. When you're too focused on someone else's life, you neglect your own. Sigma women are not distracted by noise. They're not driven by the fear of being outshined. They're driven by the quiet commitment to becoming the strongest version of themselves, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And while others are caught in the loop of comparison and self-doubt, the Sigma woman is evolving quietly, relentlessly, without needing anyone to notice. She's not looking sideways. She's looking forward always. 9. They fake confidence. Sigma women don't. A lot of women are taught how to appear confident, stand tall, smile more, speak up, wear something bold, and it works, at least on the surface. But beneath the polished look and rehearsed charm, many are still unsure, still seeking approval, still hoping someone will tell them they're doing it right. That's not confidence. That's costume. Sigma women don't wear confidence like an outfit they put on for the world. They are confident because they've earned it through deep self-awareness and real inner work. There's nothing fake about it. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their decisions. You can feel it in the way they move. Grounded, intentional, without apology. They don't need to be the loudest in the room to prove they belong. They already know they do. Not because someone told them, but because they've spent time figuring out who they are and what they will or will not tolerate. This kind of confidence doesn't come from compliments or likes. It comes from boundaries kept, mistakes owned, lessons learned, and growth earned in silence. Where most women are performing what they hope looks like power, the Sigma woman is walking in the power she already owns. She doesn't need to announce it. It speaks for itself. So, while others are focused on how they're perceived, the Sigma woman is focused on staying true to herself. That's not surface confidence. That's the real thing. And it doesn't fade when the cameras go off. 10. They overshare to feel seen. Sigma females don't. In today's world, oversharing has become the norm. Many women spill their hearts out to strangers, post every thought online, and reveal personal struggles just to feel connected or noticed. It's not always about honesty. It's often about needing to be seen. They confuse visibility with value, and in doing so, they hand out pieces of themselves too easily. Sigma women move differently. They don't overshare. They observe. They listen. They protect their inner world like it's sacred because it is. They know that not everyone deserves access to their thoughts, their pain, or their process. That kind of access has to be earned, not demanded, not expected, and definitely not assumed. It's not that Sigma females are closed off, it's that they're selective, intentionally so. They understand the weight of words. They know how powerful it is to keep something for yourself in a world where everyone is shouting for attention. Their silence isn't emptiness, it's power, it's mystery, it's control. People often misunderstand this. They'll call her distant or hard to read. That's fine. The Sigma woman is not here to be figured out in the first 5 minutes. She is layered by design. And while others reveal everything hoping to connect, she connects by revealing almost nothing until she knows it's safe. She doesn't owe anyone her story just to feel valid. She's not performing transparency. She's living truthfully and privately. And that quiet mystery, that calm you can't quite decode, that's not an accident. That's presence with protection. That's power without noise. That's a Sigma. 11. They settle for half love. Sigma women don't. Most people will tell you they want real love, but when it comes down to it, many settle for something far less. They accept crumbs and call it connection. They cling to someone who's half present, half committed, half genuine, just to avoid being alone. They tell themselves it's good enough because the idea of empty space scares them more than a hollow relationship. But Sigma women do not play with love like that. They don't stay just because it's familiar. They don't hold on out of fear. And they definitely don't entertain relationships that feel lopsided, confusing, or emotionally shallow. They would rather be alone with peace than with someone who makes them feel lonely in company. Sigma women know what they bring to the table: depth, loyalty, presence, and real emotional substance. And they expect the same in return, not perfection, but effort. Not fairy tales, but real connection that's felt, not forced. They don't chase, they don't beg for clarity. If someone cannot meet them where they are, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, they step back without drama, no pleading, no second guessing, just quiet, firm distance. It's not pride, it's principle. Because the Sigma woman doesn't want love that only shows up on weekends. She doesn't want affection that has to be decoded. She doesn't want a partner who keeps one foot out the door. She wants presence. She wants consistency. She wants real. And if that's not on the table, she'll get up and walk away without hesitation. Alone is not her weakness. It's her reset button. Half love doesn't feed her. It drains her. That's why she never settles for it. It's all or nothing, with nothing being the better option if real love isn't in the room. Some women follow maps. Sigma women draw them. In a world full of patterns, the Sigma female is the exception. She does not blend in, not because she tries to stand out, but because she refuses to shrink. Her confidence is not loud, but it is unshakable. Her presence is not built for display, but it is unforgettable. The reason 97% of women are not like her isn't about superiority. It's about choices. Most are conditioned to seek approval, to be chosen, to stay soft even when the world goes hard. But the Sigma female chose a different route. She chose truth over comfort, depth over attention, peace over popularity. She doesn't perform, she doesn't follow. She doesn't explain herself to people who stopped listening before she even spoke. And that's exactly what makes her powerful. She leads from within. Her life isn't built to impress. It's built to mean something. If you're one of the few who feel like you don't fit into what the world expects of you, that is not a flaw. That's a sign. You're not here to echo. You're here to shape, to create your own rhythm in a world addicted to noise. Sigma women walk through life with quiet force. No need to announce, no need to adjust. They know that real power doesn't need confirmation, it only needs direction. So keep building, keep growing, keep choosing the higher path, even if you walk it alone. The crowd may be loud, but the rare ones always move in silence, and when they arrive, they leave no doubt. Thank you for watching The Spicy Ladies, and God bless.